Are you subscribed to DEKU'S Anime Talk? No? What are you waiting for? Press the like button and turn on notifications now!
Hey, what's going on guys? DEKU'S Anime Talk here, and today we're here to discuss My Hero Academia chapter 317. And I gotta say, the current arc that has happened in My Hero Academia has been one of my favorite ongoing arcs in shonen right now. The switch of tone in the story and also Deku's character dynamic has been brilliant so far. And now with this latest chapter, things just got real. So, before we get into it, if you are new and enjoying the content on the channel, be sure to leave a like on this video to get this video out into the algorithm. I appreciate you guys so much. Now, let's get started. So, this chapter begins with the confirmation that all the heroes and also Deku have all managed to escape the explosion that happened at the mansion that All For One has set up. Edshot briefly mentions can they get any more information from Lady Nagant. However, Hawks explains that he doubts it because she's in the hospital right now, and her injuries are so severe that it's a miracle that she managed to survive, which we already know. If All For One truly wanted to kill her, he would have done it, but he managed to not severely damage her with the explosion because he knew that she will give up intel that will lead them to the mansion. All For One is always thinking ahead. Edshot then suggests to Endeavor that he thinks they all should take a gamble and band all the heroes together to utilize One For All secrets. This would create a chain link of network investigations, and with all the heroes, that would expand their research and create the biggest search that they can. Despite all of that, Mount Lady brings up the fact that everything that has been happening recently and everything that we're going to do continuing moving forward, this is going to add a more heavier burden to Deku. And Deku right now is already carrying so much weight, especially leaving UA and leaving all his friends, and not only that but also his mother. The burden is only going to increase from here. Regardless though, uniting all the heroes right now in this current stage of the story is going to be extremely hard because a lot of the heroes are retiring. Endeavor brings up how Def Arms retired 2 nights ago. We then see a panel in the dialogue of Def Arms announcing his retirement, and he talks about how he worked so hard to be a hero, but right now the criticism has been eating him alive, which is understandable because ever since the war, the citizens have been more outspoken and a lot of them have given up on the Hero Society altogether. And Def Arms talked about how one criticism hits harder than 10 positive comments. All the negativity that he was getting constantly, he just couldn't take it anymore, and he talks about that at the end of the day, I'm just a man. Also mentioning how he's not cut out to be a hero. And it's crazy to see Def Arms like this because he was one of the first heroes ever since chapter 1 that we have ever seen. The first time we saw him, we seen how he was getting praised by so many of the citizens, and now look how things have changed. The story has definitely went opposite direction. As Endeavor talks about how Def Arms took lead in exposing the spies of the Paranormal Liberation Front, he also talked about that the media is gradually getting closer to the truth about Deku. Main reason why is because information is slowly getting leaked through the words of the retired heroes. And if the truth of the nature of One For All and Deku becomes public, this could create a chain of negativity that all the burden will rest on Deku's shoulder because this whole situation will be exposed, and this will create a chain of chaos. And something like that cannot happen. However, Mount Lady brings up a good question. She asks why All For One doesn't just announce the truth to the public since he already knows about One For All and Deku. Endeavor explains to her that he knows if he did that, we will increase all the protection and everything we have to keep Deku hidden. And the reason why All For One hasn't done that because he knows that he does not want that to happen. So there is an even balance with All For One and the heroes when it comes to the information on exposing the truth of One For All. All For One wouldn't want this information to be leaked, and also the heroes is a negativity on both sides if the truth were to be revealed. Endeavor then gets a text and a missed call from Shoto, and we know that Shoto and Endeavor's priority, one of their priorities, is to stop Toya together. However, Endeavor knows that currently there are more important things to focus on right now. Even though I'm so excited to see how that's going to conclude, because honestly sometimes I catch myself being more interested in keeping up with the Todoroki stories than opposed to the One For All versus All For One story. But that is just a testament to how good Horikoshi's writing skills are. Hawks also gets a text from All Might, and he talks about how Deku made contact with the second assassin and he took him down immediately. And to be honest, this panel right here with the zoom in of Deku's face, he doesn't look like a hero here, and you know that Deku right now is all business, especially with the Lady Nagant situation that had just happened and the way that he's holding the villain up with his black whip. Deku is all business. He wants all the smoke right now. You can tell that he's not wasting in any time, which is understandable because Deku fears that he thinks that one of the criminals are going to explode, just like last time with Lady Nagant. He is so in a rush to the point where All Might is calling his name and Deku is not listening. The behavior patterns of Deku right now is changing before our eyes, because since the beginning of this series until now, Deku has always paid attention to All Might, whatever he had to say, but instead he is completely ignoring All Might at all costs. While All Might is trying to get Deku's attention and telling him that you haven't eaten all day, Deku tells All Might, do not follow me. You don't have to follow me anymore. I never thought this day would have ever occurred of Deku telling All Might, do not follow me anymore. Telling All Might that he's fine and saying that he can now use 100% of the power One for All without taking any damage with the help of Fajin. We then see how Deku reflects on everything that had happened recently and also emphasizing on the moment where All Might told Deku that I want you to show the world that you are here. Now Deku may be going about things a odd way, but he's only doing this for All Might's protection, and All Might knows exactly what's going on because All Might was in this position before with Sir Night-Eye, pushing Sir Night-Eye away, which is one of All Might's biggest regrets in his life, and Deku is going down this same route, putting all the weight on his shoulders, which can lead to a path of destruction. All Might does not want Deku to make the same mistakes that he has done in the past, knowing that Deku, when he uses 100% of his power, completely mastered, he will no longer look back at him. And Deku tells him, don't worry about me. Now, we don't see Deku's face expression because there is a mask over his face. However, Horikoshi has done an amazing job showing the rage and the happiness of Deku inside of this mask. But the way he drew the mask this time, it gives you nothing but pure sadness. And I know this had to be very hard for Deku to tell his idol, you know, the guy he looked up to since he was a kid, to tell him, do not worry about me. He said this to the guy who opened up a door for him to become and explore on his path on being the greatest hero. Even though All Might understands the situation, he refused to let Deku go because he remembers the promise that he told his mother that he will protect Deku at all costs. All Might talks about to himself that he wants to tell Deku that he understands the weight of responsibility that he's carrying, but you don't need to push yourself too hard. You can take a break. But when he reaches out to Deku, Deku flies away. The words that All Might wanted to say to Deku, he just couldn't. Deku completely turns his back on All Might, and that was it. And now we are hearing rumors, the citizens are spreading rumors of someone that appears without a sound, that has multiple quirks, comparing him that of a Nomu and also All for One. But they know that he is here to help, but he's always covered in mud, scars, and blood. The actions that Deku is doing is spreading across the country. And probably the best thing about this chapter is the reveal that Stain is back and that he saw and heard the entire conversation between Deku and All Might. So I'm excited to see how Stain is going to be involved in this story because he knows that All Might and Deku are real heroes. But this path that Deku is going on is not the correct path of a hero, which I believe that Stain in this arc will save Deku and bring him back to his senses. Because even though the citizens, of course, they don't know that this is Deku, the chapter ends with them saying that he doesn't look anything like a hero. And with Deku's rigged costume, with the black whip around him, the dirty ripped up scar, the blood around him, you wouldn't think he is a hero. Deku looks like a villain on a hunt, and this is not a good thing. He needs to bring back his senses because now he thinks that he can do everything himself, and that's not the case. Overall, this week's chapter was simply amazing. I'm so excited to bring back My Hero Academia chapter reviews. Didn't have time in the past to keep the consistency of My Hero Academia content going in the past because of my upload schedule, but now things are different. Now we're going to keep this ball rolling every week. So expect to be hit with My Hero Academia content every week from me. And I also expect you to hit that subscribe button with notification bells on. You guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourselves. Stay blessed. And I'm out.